Hi there, this is Andrea Bowery of Drea Renee Knits, and today I'm going to do a little demonstration on how I plan out the buttonholes for my button band. I do this pretty much every single time I am designing a cardigan or anything that's going to need a button band. So what I do is I pick up my stitches for my button band first. I think that using this way of doing it means you could pretty easily modify future button bands if you're trying to add length or shorten the body of a cardigan. Now you can do it without having to stress about, well, what do I do about these buttonholes? Because now they're not in the right place, or you might need more or less. So hopefully this empowers you to go ahead and put them where you want them. So one thing you do need to figure out before you can go past this step of picking up stitches is what kind of buttonhole you're going to use and how big does it need to be. So here's a button. There's a couple different ways that I would start picking out about how big this buttonhole for this is going to be. One is using my gauge. This is I believe, a 1-inch button. I will also just put it on my knitting and count about how many stitches its width is, and that's a pretty good place for me to start with marking off my buttonholes. If you are nervous about having the right size buttonhole, because you don't want to knit a whole button band and realize your buttonholes are too small or too big. So what I will often do is practice just the buttonhole on a little swatch, and then you can try pushing that button through and making sure it's not too tight or too loose. I do like to keep in mind that with knit fabric, it is on the stretchier side, so I don't like my buttonholes to be too loose because I feel like they can stretch, and you don't want your buttons popping out of their holes while you're wearing your cardigan. So looking at this button, I would just go ahead and count. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6 stitches would be just about perfect for this, especially because on a ribbed buttonhole, it is going to pull in a little bit. So I think that would help it not be too big. So regardless if I'm going to do a sideways button band, I should say, where I'm going to go ahead and knit ribbing going straight out from here, or if I wanted to do an applied button band, like what I'm wearing right now, where it's vertical, I'm still going to mark off my buttonholes the same way. So either type of button band is fine. I'm still going to do this step. So generally, I like to place my first buttonhole 4 to 5 stitches up from the bottom. This is personal preference. You might have a different favorite spot. That's totally fine. Just go ahead and mark where you want to start your first buttonhole, or where you might place that first buttonhole, if it's horizontal or if it's going to be vertical. So I've already picked up my stitches. I find a pretty perfect ratio for picking up stitches when you're picking up alongside rows perpendicular is 5 out of 7. So for every 7 rows, I am picking up 5 stitches. So that tends to look like I pick up 3, I skip a row, I pick up 2, I skip a row. That would be 5 out of 7, and I just repeat that all the way down. So here I'm going to go ahead and place my first locking stitch marker here. All right, so I know I want my buttonhole to be the width of about 6 stitches for my button. So now I'm just going to count up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to place another stitch marker. That's going to be one buttonhole. Now I need to decide, how long does my button band need to be? How many stitches did I pick up? So I already know I'm going to be using 6 per buttonhole, and I have So now I need to decide how many buttons I'm gonna do. So let's grab a little piece of paper here. So let's say I'm going to use, maybe I'm doing a V-neck cardigan. That doesn't look very V-neck, does it? But we're gonna go for it. All right, so just pretend that's a little more V-necky. And so my buttons are only gonna go on the straight portion. They're not gonna go on the V-neck because those parts aren't gonna connect. So let's say I just wanna do 3. And I am going to say that I'm just gonna throw a random number. I'm gonna say I have 50 stitches in that section. I'm going to use 6 stitches per buttonhole, and I'm doing 3. So 6 times 3 equals 18, and I used 4 at the beginning. So I've already used up, just with my buttonholes, and that first section of stitches would have used up 22 of my available stitches that I picked up. Okay, so 50 minus 22 is going to give me 28 stitches that I have left to use up. So I'm going to need stitches here between these 2 buttonholes and here between these 2 buttonholes. So if I want this button to be all the way up at the top, I have this one down here minus the 4 stitches. That's pretty easy. I just need spaces for 2, so I would just divide my remaining stitches that I need to use up by 2, and that would be 14 stitches between my buttonholes. So sometimes it's helpful for me to write it out, so I would say, okay, 4 stitches to start, and then 6 for a buttonhole, 14 for the space between, 6 for another buttonhole, 14 for the space between, and then 6 for my third buttonhole. And now the rest is just going to be whatever I'm using for the rest of my button band. I don't have to worry about that. This is where those buttonholes are going. So then I like to come back to where I've picked up my stitches. I don't have 50 stitches here, but let's just pretend I do. And so here would be my space between buttonholes. I would go ahead and pop another locking stitch marker. If you have different colors, it can be really handy to somehow denote, like, here's the space between, but these are the buttonhole. You can even do back to back, where now I could put another one right here that's black, count 6, and do another black marker. And that's kind of telling me, okay, that's my buttonhole space. Whatever works for you, do what's intuitive. Or even just, you know, I have 2 here. Maybe for this one, what I'll do is actually match the markers on either side of my buttonhole. I think that actually sounds really good. So now 2, 4, 6. So these 2 are in the pink family. I know they belong together, so that's a buttonhole. These 2 are black. They belong together. Little buttonhole there, and then that's going to be my space between. So whatever visually helps you. So if this was longer, I just used a little swatch. I would now do another spacer. I would count out 14 stitches, and then maybe use my 2 little orange markers and block off my next one. The reason I like to do this is after I've blocked those off, now I can look and say, okay, do I like the amount of space between where I'm going to be placing these buttonholes? You could even line up your buttons and then say, okay, is this too much space? Is it not enough? Does that look how I want it to look? So it gives you a nice visual look. But then when you go to knit your button band, you've done all the work. Now you just go ahead, you work your ribbing or your back and forth if you're doing an applied one. And then you work your buttonhole and you can take off those markers. And now you just work that spacing so you don't really have to worry about anything. And it also helps me know that I am on track, because if I'm doing, let's say, a 6-stitch 1-row buttonhole right here, well, I know that if all of a sudden I have a stitch left over right here before this marker, well, I did something wrong. So I need to check my work. So it's just a nice little accountability thing to keep me on track as well. So again, if I was altering a button band on something because I wanted to, let's say, make that cardigan longer and I needed another buttonhole, but I didn't add like this much so that it would be even, I added this much. So not so much that I can keep this exactly even with how the designer had written the pattern, but too much for me to not have an extra button. So now I can just say, okay, well, I'm just going to tweak it. I'm going to make it work for what I did. Or maybe you picked up a different amount of stitches, and so you just want to work with the stitches you picked up. I think that this is a nice way to plan out your button band with your buttonholes. So I will go ahead and link a couple different button band / buttonhole tutorials that I've filmed in the past that you might also find helpful if you are figuring out your own button band situation. But I hope that you found this helpful and that it made sense, and happy knitting.